Hello everyone, back here again, back above my cupboard, talking to a camera that's taller than me. Usually I put the camera on this shelf. This is where I've got it right now at this height, but unfortunately I've got some books here, so it's up here. Anyways, by the look of the title you've probably seen what exactly I'm going to be talking about today, and this is going to be one of them different videos. I want to do more different videos like this where I just talk about something random, but this is this is an event of the now. This is something I'm thinking as it's happening. But basically I don't think anything has scared me more than the show I'm currently watching for the first time, which is The Sopranos, and I don't know why it's scary. It's a crime show. It's about, gangsters, and I watched it. Well, I'm watching it. I'm on season 5, episode 11, 12. I think I'm on season 5, episode 11. I think is what I'm on right now. I've got 2 more left of that season, and then I got season 6. So I don't know anything beyond here, since it is my first time watching. But I'm only watching it because of GTA 4.
You will fall too. Someone will take you down.
Because I know a lot about GTA 4 was taken from it. And there's also a PS2 game that if I ever get my hands on it, I will happily do a playthrough on the channel. I was really enjoying it, and I was really enjoying the show up until season 2's finale. So there'll be some spoilers if you're planning on watching the show and you don't watch this video. I mean, you shouldn't have clicked here in the first place. And if you want to watch ahead, then at least I've said there's spoilers. So there are things that terrify me, like the GTA Online economy.
Me is one of my favorite things in the whole wide world.
The ending of The Lighthouse.
No!
Saw, specifically Saw 3. But no, so this season 2 finale of The Sopranos is that's where I first realised where this show was going. It's quite a supernatural show, and it feels like it shouldn't be. And whatever terrifies me is really interesting. I don't know why. It's like I always have a habit of watching it right before I go to bed, or watching videos throughout the day explaining what it is about. And I see some people say, oh, it's just creepy, or like about other things, oh, this was gruesome in Saw's case, or the GTA Online economy everyone just freaks out about. But this season 2 finale is called Funhouse, and what it is, so basically I don't know what I can say on the channel, but basically Tony has to figure out sort of the rat who's been speaking to the feds, and he's already got this idea in his head. Now I believe, after watching a few videos, I can see that he probably knew who it was a few episodes earlier, but it's confirmed in a string of fever dreams, which are really bizarre. And I think the fever dreams only happen because of the scenario. Sorry, a message just come up at the top of my screen. Because of the scenario he's in, and the messages are messages, and the fever dreams are very, very realistic. There's something about them. If I was to get a clip up, I mean, there's a really, really short one. It's the second fever dream he has in that episode. Well, speaking of, there have been dreams in the series like beforehand, but they were all right. They were okay. Whereas this one was generally creepy. Like this second one, for example, he's I'll play the clip and I'll explain why it was terrifying. So if any of you have seen my Mafia 2 playthrough, you'd recognise that clip, because I used it as a jump cut for some of the long driving sequences, because it's quite a funny bit of the episode, but there's this like creaking noise throughout every single one of these fever dreams in that episode, and it makes no sense. You've got Uncle Junior and he's peeking out this window he looks quite terrified, and then he moves away, and then that's the end of that dream. That's why I picked this one, because it's such a short one. But like earlier in the episode, you've got a dream where there was a guy that Tony killed who was sitting on a bench. He's the brother of another guy in the organisation, and then Tony sets himself on fire.
By the way, Patsy, Colt went over big. She loved it.
I'm Philly.
Sorry, right, Philly. Yeah. Don't you with your brother? You know, I just put a sable off him. I'm sorry I had to do that.
What if these doctors are wrong?
So that's when you know it was a dream, because it's out of context. You've got what's the other one? There's one where he's like walking, but it doesn't look like he's walking. It looks like he's walking in a steady place. And then you've got Silvio, and he slides along, dressed like he's in The Godfather 3.
Our true enemy has yet to reveal himself.
Right, and then Tony then walks over to a pair of binoculars, looks out of them, and then all of a sudden he's playing chess against Paulie, and then he shoots Paulie. It makes no sense. But then it's the last one, the last fever dream, that also confirms that that character that I don't know if I can mention because of his nickname. I'll just call him Salvatore for now, because that's his that's what I should be calling him in a sign of respect. I'm not going to call him by his nickname. I'm not one of them YouTubers. I've got a very strict mouth. Confirms that he was the rat, and basically Tony's walking along. It's in the same location. It's in the pier, and all of a sudden there's a bunch of fish on sale. And I mean, like, for the time, it's like there's a CGI fish, and it's Sal talking through it, and he just kind of fesses up, and that confirms, like, either Tony's thinking it or that's supernatural. But a lot of people don't think that was what confirmed it, and it was a bit random. It's a very out of place thing.
How's it going? You know I've been working with the government, right, Tone?
Well, that whole episode didn't creep me out as much as some of the stuff that comes in later. There's an episode that I'm not going to be able to pronounce because it's in Italian and whatnot, but basically it's the one where Tony's mother dies. That is generally a creepy episode, and there's a few weird things. So when me and my dad are watching it, and we've watched an episode or two every day, we get to this one, and all of a sudden you get Tony's mother, and there's a scene, and already something is off, and it's not meant to be creepy, but the fact that it is, because the actress died before filming, so that scene is her head cut out on someone else's body, saying lines that she's said throughout the series so far, and they can come across it can come across as a bit uncanny, because the CGI is a bit dated. I'm pretty sure I read it was rushed, and it's quite creepy. Tell me what you think.
What do you care? Out of sight, out of mind.
To read.
I wish the Lord would take me now.
Be journals from long time ago.
Now look here. I don't like that kind of talk.
And if that's not bad enough, not only do you have the you hear Livia Soprano's ghost, or there seems to be Livia Soprano's ghost. I think that's in the same episode, where AJ leans out his doorway, and the house is like dimly lit. It's dark, so that's quite creepy. And then there's this weird throwaway bit that for some reason I remember, because my dad didn't even notice it, and I've seen it mentioned on a few videos. There's this random guest at the funeral wake at the Soprano mansion, where when Janice is getting everyone together, you can see this guy in the background. He's walking down the stairs, and then he turns around and walks back up the stairs. He kind of looks like Uncle Junior, but it's not Uncle Junior. And people have seen it's some other guy at the party, some other guy. But why is he he's nowhere near everyone else. He's this random guy that's out of focus, so you can't see his face, and he just comes down the stairs and then goes back up the stairs. Quite creepy. But still, nothing is to compare to what we have now coming up, which is probably the reason I made this video. It's like, it's stuck with me. It gave me a terrible night the other night because of the blooming visions of it all. So there's a season 4 episode. I think it was season 4 episode 11? 10? Well, I can't remember the number. Could have been earlier. It was called Calling All Cars. And, you know, it's an episode that starts with a dream sequence. And once again, spoilers, I mean, I said it at the start, but basically Ralphie has been killed a few episodes prior. So his wig has come off and he is revealed to be bald. So it starts on him. He's got this bug on his head. And then as Tony moves his way around the car, he's in his dad's car, and his dad's obviously dead at this point. It's a really old car. Moves around the car, you see, you know, some faces that are alive, and then most of the faces that are in there are dead.
You want to take it for a test drive?
And they're talking to him. That's okay. I thought it was creepy. I thought it was cool though. And then that was the end of that dream sequence, and I thought, okay, you know, that was a throwaway bit, kind of creepy, but it was alright to watch. It's this next bit. I mean, talking about it now, I'm checking behind me because it's terrifying. There's this, so it's a follow-up to that dream, and it comes in later in the episode, around 3/4 of the way through. I don't think it was right at the end, it was around 3/4 of the way through. And you know, the car has arrived at this house, and you know, everyone's getting out of it, and Tony is following Ralphie, who turns around and looks at him, and then he disappears, and then Tony's all of a sudden in different clothes. Now, people have said in comments that I've seen that he's kind of dressed as his grandfather, I think it is, because his grandfather, he's mentioned in the past, was a stonemason, and he's come into this house, and he's knocked on the door. He's asking if anyone's there, and you know, the door creaks open. No one's there. So he says he's here for a stonemason job, and then we look at these stairs, and it's an empty house, quite dimly lit, but there's some light on the stairs. All of a sudden, this dark figure walks down the stairs. You can't see their face, you can only see the entire outline of their body. And people have said that's Tony's mother, who's obviously dead at this point, and she's all in black, like a grim figure. And this nightmare, a lot of people have perceived, is Tony is going to hell. Because she glides down the stairs, there's no sound, we just see it, and then she gets to a certain step, she stops, and she's just like standing there. I remember watching it, and you know, I was like, oh, yeah, that's kind of creepy. I didn't realise it was Tony's mother at the time. It's when I watched a video and it was like creepy Sopranos moments in the early seasons, and then it went up to season 4, so I wasn't spoilt for anything further on, if there's anything further on. And you know, I look in the comments and no one put the video on there. I look in the comments and someone says, oh yeah, and the creepy Livia on the stairs bit, and I was like, creepy Livia on the stairs? So I searched it up, and then it's this bit, and I'm like, that's just unlocked a whole new meaning for me. So then I was watching these analysis videos that I've saved in my watch later, and I'm watching what does it mean? Is it his nightmare? Is he going to hell? And then was it at the end of it? It might have been at the end of the episode now, the more I think about it. And I went to bed that night after watching all these videos, and yeah, it's pitch black, my door's open, I'm right at the top of the stairs, I'm the first room from the top of the stairs, and all I'm thinking is, if I go outside, will I see this dark figure standing on the stairs?
Hello? Hello? I'm here for the masonry job. Me no speak English. Me dispiace.
There are a few more terrifying things. For example, in one of the season 3 episodes, it might have been the one with Livia's death, I can't remember. But you can see Salvatore's ghost in a mirror.
Somebody should find the winner, stick a pistol in the face, and say,
which is, you know, that's one of the throwaway things, but I didn't think that was necessarily creepy, but it might just confirm that the show might be supernatural. There's this other supernatural bit, which I won't go into too much detail, because I don't fully understand it, where, you know, Paulie's at this meeting with a bunch of people, and there's this guy who thinks he can communicate with a ghost, but the thing is, he starts communicating with ghosts of people Paulie has killed, that obviously the guy wouldn't know. We've seen the kills, so it's very random how it shows up. And then in the last episode I watched, I think it was called The Test Dream, literally the entire episode was a dream. It was one of them fever dreams, and I was like, this better not be another black figure. I'm not having the mysterious woman on the stairs in any of this. And fortunately she wasn't. Well, I don't think I'm alone with this in saying The Sopranos is very creepy, but I think I might be alone in saying it's probably the scariest thing I've ever seen, because it's not, it feels like it's not meant to be like this, and it shouldn't be because of, you know, what it is, but the fact that it does throw these scary things in there, it's terrifying. And you know, I'm gonna finish season 5 hopefully tonight, and yeah, I don't know what's ahead. I don't know what's ahead of me. I think I've got 2 episodes left of season 5, then I've got the entirety of season 6, which is extremely long. I think there's 21 episodes in there, whereas there's the usual 13 in every other season. So yeah, don't say anything. but yeah, I hope you enjoyed this video. Hopefully you didn't get, you know, spoiled, considering I said there were spoilers. It's going to take a while to edit, but thanks for watching, and I'll see you all in the next one. Goodbye.